On Yackin Wit Yoni, we're going to recap Bucks Pistons and preview Bulls Bucks and Blackhawks Wild, plus new additions of Cage Talk and the Thinking Chair. That's all right now on Yackin Wit Yoni. Welcome to this January the 30th edition of Yackin Wit Yoni. I am Ryan Yanishatis. Let's kick it off by recapping last night's game between the Bucks and the Pistons. Bucks win it last night 117-90. Let's go to the bullet points. First one, weather the storm. It was off to a big lead for the Pistons. They were hitting their shots. Greg Monroe, Brandon Knight, all of them getting the job done early on. Bucks were turning it over, missing shots, nothing going right for them in the first quarter. Second one, no, you don't. As Epe Udo, he was just drilling the shots in the third quarter. He was dunking, really getting this team back into form, helping the Bucks get back. They went on a 30-10 run in that third quarter, and that second and third quarter to really lead this team to play well. And then finally, Jennings icing it. Brandon Jennings had 5 3-pointers in the second half, proving that the Milwaukee Bucks needed to win this game after trailing early. They were able to come back, win that game, and the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Pistons 117-90. Great game by the Bucks. They needed this going home to face the Chicago Bulls, so kudos to them and a great job. Bucks win at 117-90. Be previewing their game tonight a little bit later on. Do you want to sponsor Yackin Wit Yoni? Email us at yackinwityoni@yahoo.com and we will work something out. Now it's time for the newest edition of Cage Talk. Of course, last past week it was UFC on Fox. The results, Anthony Pettis defeated Donald Cerrone in a round 1 knockout. I picked Cerrone to win. Glover Teixeira beats Quentin Rampage Jackson via unanimous decision. I picked Quentin Rampage Jackson. Flyweight Championship, an exciting fight. Demetrius Johnson defeats John Dodson via unanimous decision. I picked Demetrius Johnson, so I went 1 for 3 on my picks. Now, UFC 156 this Saturday, live on pay-per-view. We got Alistair Overeem against Bigfoot Silva. I'm going to go Alistair Overeem. Rashad Evans against Rodrigo Nogueira. Evans is one of my favorites. I'm going to go Evans. And then the featherweight championship, Jose Aldo defending against Frankie Edgar. I'm going to go Jose Aldo. And then again, that is this Saturday night pay-per-view. That one will be on at 9 o'clock. Prelims, I'm sure, will be before that. So, but that's all that. So that is all, and I'll be recapping that next week. We are on Facebook. You can like us, message us, and much more. That is Yackin Wit Yoni on Facebook. Of course, it's the middle of the week. Personally, my favorite time to vent. So why not vent a little bit more about the Chicago Cubs and what their front office is saying. This is what they had to say, and this is my newest edition of The Thinking Chair. Chair. Today I'm going to talk a little more about the Chicago Cubs and what the people are saying, like the front office. Theo Epstein's saying the goal this year is to make the playoffs. Well, frankly, I think they're 1 year too far away from that. I think they should be just focused on maybe getting even to the 500 range. Right? Last year they lost 101 games. Completely unacceptable. It was a rough year for the Cubs overall. But the fact of the matter is that this team needs to worry. I mean, they're going to try to get wins. They're getting closer, but I don't think they're a playoff team just yet. I know with the second wild card, it leaves all these kind of hopes, and you usually see who's going to be the Athletics and who's going to be the A's of this year, which last year and the Orioles, who are just stormed and took everyone by storm and able to make it to the playoffs. I mean, the Cubs do have that possibility. I personally do not see it. I do not see them being a playoff team this year. I guess they could have a chance, but I really don't see it this year. I don't think the diehard fans really know the truth that this ain't going to be a playoff year when other people are going to be like, oh, Theo Epstein said we're good. We're going to get into the playoffs. I say the goal this year is 500, and I think if they don't get to the round, roughly the 500 mark, then this team's, well, anything's forward than last year, but I think to go in the perfect motion, I'd say a 500 season is what this team's looking at, not a playoff year. And if 500 does get you a chance in the playoffs, then so be it. A chance in the wild card at least. So, I mean, usually that don't happen, but I say this year 500, maybe next year 2014 is when this team really starts to contend for the division, when you got Anthony Rizzo and Starlin Castro given a couple more years left. And that's me and my newest edition of The rocking chair. Where's the one place to watch all Yackin Wit Yoni programming? It is our home on YouTube. You can watch all the episodes plus the best of it every week. I keep forgetting to not say that. That is Yackin Wit Yoni on YouTube. Now it's time to preview Blackhawks Wild tonight from Minnesota, the XL Energy Center in St. Paul. But my players to watch for tonight's game, Mikko Koivu, he is the captain of the Minnesota Wild, Zach Parise, and Ryan Suter. The Blackhawks are playing unbelievable hockey right now. They're 6-0 franchise record, just that keeps rolling with them, and they just keep finding ways to win. Whether it's Corey Crawford being awesome at goal, or Duncan Keith, or Patrick Kane, or Jonathan Toews, they are getting ways to win these hockey games, and they're just doing it in unbelievable fashions. They keep finding a new way to win games, and I've been excited to watch this team play every game. This is my first year. I've really been excited for hockey. It's been great, and all they got to do, I think this is a long road trip. They start off in Minnesota. Minnesota's having a pretty good year, so I think right now what the Hawks got to do is play very good hockey, continue to do what they do, because they got to go off and face the Vancouver Canucks, one of their rivals, coming up Friday night. So they got to play well. I think they got a good chance to win this game. They got to keep the most momentum going. Everyone talking about the Hawks. I was watching NHL Network. They were really bragging them up. So kudos to, I keep saying kudos, but kudos to the Chicago Blackhawks that they've been able to step up. That game will be on at 7 o'clock on NBC Sports Network so that'll be tomorrow night, nationally televised for a Wednesday night. Yackin Wit Yoni is on top of it when it comes to social media. That includes Twitter, where you can get active with the show, so don't forget to follow Yackin Wit Yoni on Twitter. Now it's time to preview Bulls-Bucks. That'll be tonight from the Bradley Center our BMO Harris Bradley Center in Milwaukee. I will be at that game, weather permitting. There's different reports of it's going to be snowing, and there's going to be frost and all that stuff. So now I got tickets to the game. Will I be going? Right now it's up in the air, hoping I'll be there. So if it is, but anyway, the Bucks coming off that big win last night against the Detroit Pistons, really showing. I mean, the Pistons are a struggling team, but they handled them a lot better than the Bulls did. They both played them this week. Bulls had no excuse the way they played against them, so they need to step up and continue to play well. The Bucks have a lot of momentum right now. I think the Bucks are really playing well. The Bulls have been dominant at the Bradley Center, though. They've played very well there, because it's like when the Cubs go to Miller Park, it's like Wrigley North. That's exactly what the Bradley Center is. Just take the South I-90, I-94, and you'll get there, and I think that is why a lot of fans go there. It's supposed to be a packed house. Not sure if it'll be now because of the weather, but nonetheless, it should be an exciting game. If the Bucks win that one, they will take the season series from them. Of course, all 4 games will be done without Derrick Rose being in there, so I think if the Bulls have Luol Deng back and Jimmy Butler continues to play well, you're going to see this Chicago Bulls team really step up and get the job done. They play unbelievable. Last year, Derrick Rose had an awesome shot there. So I'm hoping to be there tomorrow night to watch that game. If I'm not, I'll be front row in my seat, and of course at my house and watching him. But the Bulls hopefully can play well. The Bucks have a lot of momentum in this one right now, so I don't know. But that one will be on at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Wisconsin and Comcast Sportsnet Chicago. Final matchup of the year between the two teams. Check out the official website of Yackin Wit Yoni, where you can view promo flyers, Katie's blog, Yackin merchandise, and much more. Go to yackinwyoni.weebly.com. Now it is time for predictions. And of course, last night I picked the Bucks to win over the Pistons. I'm right, so I'm 2-0 so far. Blackhawks Wild tonight. I'm going to pick Blackhawks. I'm not going to not pick them until they lose the game. And then Bulls, Bucks, I'm getting a little iffy on this. The Bucks have a lot of momentum right now, but I can't go against my Bulls. They played very well at the Bradley Center. So I'm going to say Bulls over Bucks and Blackhawks over Wild. Preview for Thursday, we're going to recap Bucks Pistons. Oh, well, I guess I didn't write this down. But we're going to recap Blackhawks Wild and Bulls Bucks, plus a new edition of Yanni's Take. That's all tomorrow on Yackin Wit Yoni. That'll wrap it up for this January the 30th edition of Yackin Wit Yoni. I am Ryan Yanishada saying this is, and forever will be, one guy, one show, nuff said.